What's up, everybody? JVille Sports here with my sports picks video. It is a Monday, February 19th. Happy President's Day. Hopefully, you guys have the day off and have a nice, relaxing barbecue ahead. But yeah, let's recap yesterday like we always do. We had our bet of the day, which was a three-team moneyline parlay. We had UConn. They were the risky one of the three on the road against East Carolina. We had Tulsa at home. Really wasn't worried about them. And Purdue against Penn State. Um, that was a closer game than I expected. Penn State has been playing very, very well. I think they won 3 or 4 in a row before that game. Purdue coming off 3 straight losses themselves, so they were struggling, but Purdue found a way to win that game. Tulsa easily won, and then Connecticut, they also found a way to win on the road against East Carolina. So we hit our bet of the day. Um, Paid a little bit less than even money, 300 to win 244. So we're going to look to make it 2 in a row. And that's what we're really going to focus today's video on. There's not a ton out there, especially with no NBA until Thursday. I'm just going to keep this video short and simple and go for a bet that I think is going to hit. So we make it 2 straight winning days in a row. We had a couple lanes yesterday as well. Nebraska -1 was a loss. I had a couple people in the community here that mentioned they did think Nebraska was going to get upset. I didn't want to believe it just because Nebraska had so much to play for, trying to get into the tournament. But I even said it yesterday, Illinois is playing tough, especially at home. So it definitely wasn't an easy game. That's why it was just a 1 point spread. So it really wasn't a huge upset. But Nebraska did fall there. Loyola Chicago saved me. I did have them as well, -5. Um, it was a somewhat close game. I think they ended up winning by 10. So Loyola Chicago. So we went 1-1 with our spreads. But most importantly, we hit our bet of the day. And just for fun, I threw Kevin Durant as MVP. I think he probably would have got second place. There was a few guys that had pretty good games on LeBron's team, but of course LeBron stole the show, hit a lot of huge threes, and that pretty much was one of the main reasons they ended up coming back and winning that game. It was a very good All-Star game, a lot of individual defense, so not as many huge highlight dunks that we normally see, but it was a pretty good game, pretty competitive game throughout, so I'm happy about that. But yeah, so let's get to today's bet of the day. Let me put it up here on the screen. So it's going to be actually another three-team moneyline parlay. And the funny thing is, it's actually the exact same odds. It's -123, so 300 pays 244. But we're actually going to pick a game from the NHL today. I pick from the NHL a few times a week. Really, what I look for, 'cause I pretty much stick with money line. So I look for a good team playing against a bad team, and I look at the last few games of the teams. So in this case, Nashville is one of the best teams in the NHL, and they've lost 2 in a row. So they are due for a win. That's one of the things I look for. And they're playing against Ottawa, and they're one of the worst teams in the NHL, and they actually have won 2 in a row. And that's another thing I look for, bad teams that have won a few in a row because they're due for a loss. So this is actually the perfect game. You have a good team against a bad team, and the good team is due for a win, the bad team is due for a loss. So I'm going with Nashville. It may not make a whole lot of sense to you what I just said, but it's worked for me when I've been picking NHL games. So I'm going with Nashville today. In college basketball, there are 2 money lines that I don't see going any other way. Wright State at home, I think they're favored by 14. Shouldn't be any contest. Loyola Chicago or Illinois Chicago, also at home, shouldn't have any issues either. So those are the teams for the three-team moneyline parlay. So we're gonna roll with that. So there's not a whole lot out there today, but let me know what games you guys are looking at. Any thoughts or opinions on what you see out there today? This is one of the bets I'm gonna be rolling with for sure. I'll be looking at some straight bets later in the day, but I want to get this out there. Like I said, we're going for 2 in a row with our bets of the day. Hopefully we build up a long streak here. There is a very good late game tonight. Oklahoma on the road against Kansas. I'm definitely going to look at that game further. Oklahoma has not been playing well of late, losing. They're not beating the top team, so they're actually not even ranked anymore. So that's a warning sign going into the tournament, because they're definitely a dangerous team that can beat anybody with the way they play. But they're just not performing right now. They're losers of 5 in a row, so we'll see what happens on the road against Kansas. About 8.5 point spread for Kansas at home. So it's going to be definitely a good game, one that I'm going to tune in to watch and see. Um, like I said, going into the tournament, you want to watch as many of the good teams as you can so you can have a good feel for when the brackets come out. So I'm definitely excited for that. So we'll see what happens. So again, thank you guys for joining me today. I appreciate it. And hopefully, depending on what's out there, I'll see you guys tomorrow.